a yearly show. Shocking in 2026, but I'm
yearly
ready.
Show with high production value and great writing. Shocker that this
is a unicorn in Hollywood.
It is, honestly. So the first season of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms is over, and I did not know that there were actually 9 kingdoms.
Okay, so that was not a known thing.
I mean, I just always assumed there were 7 kingdoms in the 7 kingdoms.
Okay.
But I was wrong, or Egg was right. I don't know how they group them. If they're like, oh, Dorne isn't one of them, or so. I don't know. I have no idea.
I didn't know if there was a lore that I missed. So therefore, I didn't get the joke.
There was not a lot inferred from just A Night of the Seven Kingdoms that you should have been like, oh, I understand that joke, right?
Right. Yeah.
You don't know all of the 9 kingdoms, so. But welcome back to Soul Online, the Fireside Film Podcast. I'm Grant.
And I'm Drew.
And we're talking about the finale of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms Season 1. Drew, what did you think of the finale, but more the show,
the season
as a whole?
Look, for those of you who are new to this series, I have not seen Game of Thrones, nor have I seen House of the Dragon. So I came in
very green,
very blind.
Yes.
And absolutely fell in love with the show, and I am here to stay.
Oh wow.
I love this show.
I don't know what I expected. One from the show, but more from your reaction to this show, because I just knew you've never been like, I want to watch Game of Thrones. You kind of just always been like, maybe I'll watch it one day.
Yeah.
So I'm surprised that we're here and you love at least Dunk and Egg.
I love Dunk and Egg.
Did you feel more intrigue just looking back on the season for the world and how everything works and fits together, and at least a little bit man, I kind of wish I knew a little bit more going into the show?
I mean, yes, but just from my perspective, I don't think. Well, and this might be unfair to say, but it just kind of felt like a fantasy world.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it is, but
I'm sure there's a whole lot more
deep
complexity to it and everything. But to me, watching A Night of the Seven Kingdoms, I didn't have any this world building is super interesting, so therefore I want to dive more into the Seven Kingdoms. I said this characters are super interesting, so I want to stick with these characters.
That's fair.
I think that's where
you
I'm
also
at.
had me along the way, kind of being this is about how
you were holding my hand.
I was
significantly.
There was, speaking of hand, there was a moment in this episode where I paused it, and they mentioned Baelor was the hand of the king, and I was like, here is who the hand of the king is and why this is important. Drew's like, oh,
yep,
that makes sense.
Without Grant, I would be very lost.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah.
I mean,
without Grant, I wouldn't.
You would have the internet,
and I wouldn't be watching the show if we were not friends.
You would not be watching the show. Okay, well, let's dive into very brief non-spoilers, but you're here for the spoilers. What did you think of the finale?
I thought it was very good. We kind of talked last episode that episode 5 felt very finale-esque.
Yeah, climactic
in the sense of everything that the whole season was building up toward happened in episode 5.
Yes.
And this was kind of the epilogue, and that was our prediction.
Yeah.
And it definitely kind of was.
We were right. Yeah, totally.
But I think there were some really sweet character moments, some really interesting character moments, and
it sets up.
The setup is exactly what we wanted.
Yeah.
And we're intrigued. So,
yeah.
Do you have any non-spoiler thoughts?
I mean, I kind of felt like I came in expecting an epilogue, not some big conclusion. I mean, it delivered a very sweet, at times very funny epilogue, and got me excited to go on our next adventure with Dunk and Egg. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm excited for the rest of the show, and I'm so on board. I was on board from really episode 1 when they were laying under a tree. I was like, I'm here to stay. But I'm very much on board, and I will be reading all 3 novellas before season 2 comes out.
Wow.
So.
Okay, so question.
Okay.
This season covered the first novella?
The first novella, yes, The Hedge Knight.
There's 2 more.
There's 2 more.
Which is the first 3 seasons of Egg's youth, correct?
Yes, and they might do 5. Ira Parker said he might do 5 seasons of the youth.
Okay, 5 seasons of the youth. And I guess you might not know this, but are 2 and 3, the novellas,
Yes.
Are they?
They're the youth.
It's all covering Egg's
as
youth.
far as I know, they all cover Egg's youth. I think they're like back to back to back.
So if we get into Egg as a teenager and as an adult,
we are expanding.
That's uncharted territory.
Well, yes.
Uncharted territory with lore to back it up.
With what we officially know, kind of.
Okay.
I mean, we know bits and pieces of Dunk and Egg's story, specifically how it ends, how some of Egg's brothers die, like how Egg becomes Aegon the Unlikely. Like, there's stuff that is talked about in the Game of Thrones books. And so George R.R. Martin wrote a Game of Thrones. It blew up to a certain extent, and then he kind of got sort of famous for being an author. And I think he wrote at least the first one, The Hedge Knight, before he wrote the second Game of Thrones book. So he started expanding the world and stuff. Yeah, he talked about it on their podcast, the HBO podcast, but he was like, it was a collection of short stories, and I think Stephen King wrote one, or there were some famous authors in there, and he was one of them. So I digress. He loves Dunk and Egg. I think he cares a lot about these characters. I think he wants to do them some justice. So he said, this is the thing with George R.R. Martin, he says stuff, who knows if it's going to happen, but he says he wants to write more Dunk and Egg. I do think he will. And he's going to be very involved with the show. He's writing another Fire and Blood book, which is what House of the Dragon is based on. It's the first Fire and Blood book. And he's still supposed to finish 2 Game of Thrones books. So,
he still has 2 to go?
Yeah.
I thought there was only 1.
No, that's the thing.
Oh, my God.
Even if he finished Winds of Winter, we're not... I mean, we might wait another 20 years. He's going to die. I mean, maybe not. I hate saying that about a person, but we're not going at a great pace, George. So let's lock this up, buddy. But if he does say, hey, I'm going to write, 12 more novellas about Dunk and Egg and finish their story, and y'all can make them, I would just be like, honestly, he finished something, and I love these characters.
He concluded a story.
And I'm down for it. So
yeah, I agree.
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, he's been very involved in the show, and the showrunner, Ira Parker, is really, really great.
I've watched a lot of interviews. He seems to be really solid.
Very solid. Very faithful to the source material. Yeah. I've heard the only thing that really wasn't super faithful, which, again, I still haven't read it yet, is that Dunk's hair isn't long.
But
but Peter Coffey
he grew his hair out.
It's out. It's long right now, so...
Which is legendary.
They've said that they will try to keep it long for season 2, which is great. I'm all for it. So,
I mean, I think the care surrounding the show, not from George R.R. Martin, is encouraging.
Yeah, totally. But also that he is as involved and invested in the...
Well, I'm saying, like, if he were to pass before there were more stories, I foresee it being in good hands.
Yeah, and I think... I mean, this is what some authors do. I want George to do this, honestly. It's just like, dude, just write the outlines. Like,
no, for sure.
That's what Robert Jordan did, and he gave it to Brandon Sanderson. And just at least have something that is, if at some point the George R.R. Martin estate or whatever, if there is one, wants these books to be finished, there's something to go off of.
Yeah.
And the same thing with Dunk and Egg. Like, write an outline for 12 more stories. And go as deep as you can into as many of them as you can. And we'll see what happens. I don't know. I digress again. But I would love to see him finish something. And I would love for there to be much more Dunk and Egg. So
I agree.
Yeah. Okay, we've talked enough about the show as a whole. Let's dive into spoilers. This is your spoiler warning for episode 6 of A Night of the Seven Kingdoms. So Dunk is like kind of dying.
Yeah, just like the whole episode.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting better. You can watch him get better, but he's like kind of dying.
He's cooked. Which is understandable.
Yeah. What'd you think of the story, all that stuff, the epilogue kind of that we got?
I thought it was great. Again, I mean, part of me kind of hates the not mini-series, but like, it's just the short structure.
Sure.
Only because I want more time.
Yeah.
Which, I know you're based on a novella, so like, you don't have a ton of substance.
If they expanded it a lot more, I think it would feel like there's...
bloated.
It's bloated for what the story is. I do agree, though, for some other shows, it's just like, oh, we only get 6 episodes, so... Yeah.
But I think this was good. I think all the characters had conclusions that were satisfying.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Targaryens got a lot more fleshed out.
Yeah.
In comparison to the rest of the season.
This group of Targaryens definitely did.
Which I appreciated as a newbie. Maekar, is that his name?
Maekar.
Maekar?
Yeah. You get a lot of depth to him in this episode,
you
which
do.
I appreciated.
And I mean, I think he will become... I say this with no lore knowledge, but I think he will become a significant player.
Yeah, I haven't read the novellas or know the full story, at least to the extent that we know yet. But, I mean, obviously, he's Egg's dad, and so he's going to play some sort of role. But I actually did really appreciate... he was kind of just like a stick in the mud for the first 5 episodes.
Yeah.
You get a little bit in episode 5 of, like, he cares for his sons. And then this episode, you get a lot of depth from him.
And I mean, the scene with Dunk and Maekar where he's like, people are always going to say I tried to kill my brother.
Yeah.
And I didn't.
Yeah, and you believe him completely.
Super good.
Yeah, and that whole dynamic is super interesting because it's like he's mad at Dunk, but also it's kind of his son's fault.
But
and also
kind of his fault.
It's kind of his fault.
Yeah.
And like Dunk blames himself, but it's kind of like Dunk he didn't tell Baelor to fight for him, and he didn't tell Maekar to kill him. Like,
nor did he tell Arian to do a trial 7.
Yeah, so it's kind of like their fault, but not their fault. It's just a weird, unfortunate circumstance. It's a cool dynamic that the scene plays it out great. So, yeah, and I think the scene where Egg gets the knife and he's like walking up to maybe kill Arian, and I knew that he was not going to kill Arian because I know how Arian dies later, but
don't tell me.
I won't, but you will laugh when you hear about it. But that scene where Maekar stops him and just kind of, he doesn't like embrace him, but he just kind of holds him.
There's a moment of understanding.
And also just like you really feel the fatherhood. And it makes Egg's relationship with Dunk, it just emphasizes the brotherhood more. Because going into this, I was like, okay, his dad's a stick in the mud. Maybe he kind of sees Dunk as a little bit of a father figure and a brother figure. But it seems a little bit more like, no, it's just really, he sees Dunk as his older brother that he never really had.
And I think you even see that in like the 2 lines of dialogue where Maekar says Egg is like a troublesome kid, and then Dunk's like, nah, he's not that bad.
Yeah.
But from his perspective, Egg has run away once and soon to be twice.
Yes, soon to be twice. Yeah.
It's like, I totally get that perspective as a father when your kid is low-key just a punk.
Yeah, but you feel the love that Maekar has for him, too. And,
I agree.
Like, he, in no universe should he let his son squire with Dunk.
Yeah.
Except that he loves his son.
Yeah.
And he loves his son so much that he is willing to, like put Dunk in a good situation, which is crazy. But, yeah, I mean, you feel that love that he has in, I mean, that line that he says where he's like, he's my last son. Like, it feels like he's my youngest son, but it also kind of feels like he's the last good one. And, like, that's super sad.
Yeah.
But you feel for him as character. So, and then, I mean, it's kind of played for laughs at the end of it, I guess. But
I think
it's great dramatic stuff.
Great dramatic stuff. And I think that's also Dunk's angle of, like, Dunk has seen the first 3 Targaryen sons.
Yeah, he's like, I'm done with princes.
Well, yes, but have some sort of fall from grace.
Yeah.
Like, either Arian or the other 2 who are just not great either.
Yeah.
But I think he's looking at Egg and, like, I think he thinks he can do a better job than Maekar.
Yeah, Maekar. Yeah, it's kind of a through line with the Targaryens in all of Game of Thrones that, like, they're all kind of Icaruses. Like, they just fly.
Really? That's just like a thing?
Yeah, it's
okay.
Very much a thing. Very much a thing. So, yeah, it's kind of known with them that that's just kind of how they go. Like, the power just kind of gets to their head. And that's why Baelor's death, I mean, they say it in this episode, too. Like, he was the good one, and he would have been a good king. And we talked about this outside of the pod, but George R. Martin has said Baelor's death is one of the most impactful moments in all of Westeros' history because of the chain reaction of events that it causes. So, anyway, it's super interesting. And I think you don't go too deep into the lore of all of Westeros in this show, but you go deep enough into this family dynamic that you can really buy into it.
I think it's all you need.
Yeah, totally. So, what else do you want to talk about? Anything? I mean, there's not a lot of, like, action that happens in this episode, but anything else you want to talk about?
I kind of want to do, and this might make the Game of Thrones purists mad. But I want to do predictions when we have no, even though the stories aren't even established. I just want to know where you think it's gonna go.
I guess for the next few seasons.
Yeah.
I know vaguely. I think they end up in Dorne or
that was hinted at.
somewhere warm, right?
Just like we're
I don't
warm
know.
right now.
See, that's the thing is like I don't want to do too many predictions because I like that this is just like it's kind of the misadventures of Dunk and Egg. Like it's episodic. It's great stuff like that. So, I mean, yes, I kind of want to do predictions, but I kind of also just like to buckle in and enjoy the ride a little bit.
That was such a lame answer.
I know, but it's so true to my heart right now. But
I don't know.
If I had to make one, I'm going to make one bold prediction.
Okay.
Dunk is going to have a significant upgrade next season. Like, he will be significantly better with the sword next season.
Ooh.
Just from, like, he has one battle under his belt, a very important battle, by the way. I think we're going to see some significant growth next season. That is my very bold prediction.
I agree. I mean, I think I don't want Dunk to be just like atrocious in battle for the first 3 seasons, and then he gets a little better. Like,
yeah,
let's have some progression early.
You'd like to see a step up
and have some epic fights like mid-season 2, season 3.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
Do you think Egg will have hair?
No,
really.
I think the hair thing. We kind of got a snapshot of that this episode, but the hair thing is like a little bit of a.
He hates his family.
I think he hates what his brothers are and stand for.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Anyway, I think he's gonna continue to shave. At least to my knowledge, I don't think his hair grows back because all the interviews that Peter and Dexter have done,
his hair is still gone.
His hair is still gone, and they are filming season 2 shortly. So,
which praise the Lord.
Praise
a yearly show,
Lord.
Shocking in 2026. but I'm
yearly
ready.
Show with high production value and great writing. Shocker that this
is a unicorn in Hollywood.
It is, honestly.
But we will take it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hit me with one or two of your predictions outside of the swordplay stuff.
I think Egg will also get better with a sword.
I think we will see him wield a sword. Yeah.
I think Egg will contribute in more of the combat than he did.
Yeah.
Which he literally just stood on a bleacher and yelled.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think Egg kind of had his moment with the knife in this episode, but I think
we're gonna see some more of his combat.
I think Egg was more of a backseat player.
Yeah.
In the grand scope of the season, I think he will be more of a front seat player.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch Dunk try and fail to teach Egg stuff.
I know it's gonna be awesome.
I don't even know. I mean, I think to a certain extent that's going to happen in some regard over the next 2 seasons. Of he's going to try to teach him something that Arlen taught him and realize this is kind of not my forte, is teaching people. But
or maybe like Arlen
taught him wrong.
A terrible teacher.
I mean, maybe honestly, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, well, really quick, there's a few things I want to talk about. What do you think of the end overall of like the shot of them walking off with the horses and Arlen in it?
I thought it was great.
Yeah.
I
thought it was a cool little symbolic thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Well,
that was the end of that conversation.
I did think this episode felt oddly bright, just because it was shot a lot in the sun, and the last couple have been either in dim rooms or in the battlefield.
Yeah. There's less fog over the episode.
Less fog.
Yeah. And it is kind of that thing of Baylor's death is very tragic, but there's still a lot of hope. At least in Egg, honestly, if anything. Like, he could end up being the good Targaryen is kind of what is hinted at a little bit here.
No, yeah, I agree.
So, I don't know. It ends on a hopeful, excited for the future note, which is always fun. All right, 2 more questions. Number 1, we've talked a lot about how interested are you in watching Game of Thrones. So we've had a lot of commenters say stuff like, I'm excited for you guys to review House of the Dragon, or I'm so excited for Drew to watch Game of Thrones.
House of the Dragon comes out this summer, right?
Yeah, you're cooked, buddy. Yeah, we're watching the first 2 seasons. They're not that long, though. You're going to be okay. But
isn't it way more depressing and like a...
Oh, yeah, totally. This is the happiest it gets. What you're watching is the happiest it gets.
Okay.
But we've talked about on a scale of 1 to 7, which I guess should be 1
to
to
9.
9 now, but on a scale of 1 to 7, I think you said you were like a 2.4 on that scale of I want to watch Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
This is like 2 or 3 episodes ago.
Yep.
You said you need to get, what, above a 4?
Above a 4.
Where are you now? Are you still at a 2.4 after a whole season?
Here,
after a really epic battle sequence, you're still at 2.4?
Here's my thing.
Okay.
Okay.
Tell me your thing.
I know that the writing of Game of Thrones is 95% phenomenal.
Until you get to the last, like,
But
5 episodes. But yes.
I've been watching a lot of video essays about Night of the Seven Kingdoms. And it, like, references Game of Thrones and stuff. So I've had some stuff spoiled. Which is, like, I don't really care, honestly.
That's not good.
But every essay has been like, ugh, Game of Thrones is terrible. It's all, and like I think the ending has soured it so much for people
It
that
has.
I'm like, I'm hesitant to put so much time and effort into 8 seasons of TV and get invested in these characters when I know season 8 is hot garbage.
And I don't even blame you for that, but that's the thing is, like, it's saying, is watching 8 episodes of Star Wars bad because the 9th one's bad? Like, kind of not, because
Well,
there's so many moments in Game of Thrones that are so incredible.
I think that's a fair argument.
Like, yes, the ending sucks, and I do think it sours a lot of people's opinions. But the ending sucks because George opted out. George was like, here's an outline. Go for it.
Right.
And I do think it was what he had kind of planned for an ending, and then his ending sucked, and also they, like, compressed it, and it was just bad. But they're also in the finale, there are good ideas that happen. There are ideas that you see that you think, oh, that could have been really cool to build up for 4 seasons. We got it in 2 episodes. So that kind of sucks. But the bad parts of Game of Thrones are not really the bad parts of George's writing, if that makes sense.
Right. They're just all the extraneous stuff.
Yes. So I would say it is so worth watching the first 5 or 6 seasons. And honestly, if you were like, I don't even want to finish the show after this, I'd be like, okay.
Okay.
Where's your number?
I would say I am at a 2.6.
You didn't even break the 3 mark. I was hoping you'd break the 3 mark. All right, we'll revisit that conversation when we watch House of the Dragon. But that sucks. Oh,
I'm intrigued to watch House of the Dragon.
Okay, wait, on a scale of 1 to 7, how intrigued are you to watch House of the Dragon? It's less of a commitment.
I mean, I'm probably still the same, but like, well, maybe like a 2.9.
Okay. I'll buy into that. Okay. All right, well, let's do this last thing. Let's give our rating for Night of the Seven Kingdoms Season 1.
Yeah, let's do it.
Now, we have this rating thing that we got going on right at the bottom of your screen. We can't watch this in theaters. So we're
Nor
just
can we buy it on Blu-ray.
well,
yet.
you let's say you can.
Okay.
Because a lot of HBO shows are released on Blu-ray.
That is true.
Let's see if Netflix changes that, but we're going to say that we can't say the movie won. Where are you with this?
Buy it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I am too. Wow, that was so quick. Well, thank you guys for tuning. No, I'm just kidding. What do we got coming up?
Unanimous decision.
Yes.
What do we have coming up next? Should we announce what 2 shows we've been teasing? I mean, if you know anything about pop culture, you know.
Yeah, we're going to be reviewing, well, we're going to be recapping Invincible. And then
He hasn't seen Invincible, so we're
This is
kind of
my
going to
first
swap.
watch through,
We're
yeah.
going to swap positions, and I'm so excited.
I am in for a wild ride. I've seen the first episode so far, so I'm buckling in. So we're going to review the 4th season that's coming out of that. And also we're going to do some Daredevil Born Again action.
Some Daredevil. We got Project Hail Mary.
Oh, yes.
We got-
Yes.
What's the friggin' Colleen Hoover rom-com?
Oh, yeah.
Reminders of him.
We're it's not a rom-com. Well, maybe. I don't know what that classifies as.
I feel like I just throw any romance movie and call it a rom-com.
You called it About Time a rom-com?
We literally
That
had
is
this
not a
conversation
rom-com.
like an hour ago.
That is not a rom-com. Yeah. Well, we're going to review a lot of stuff. Oscars are coming up. We're reviewing Hamnet this week.
True.
So click that subscribe button. We'll do an Oscars review and an Oscars reaction cast. So we got a lot of great stuff coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah. We love you guys. Thank you so much for sticking around with us, and take a break.
Enjoy the film.